So Becky and I decided to take a road trip to New Orleans. See, I've got that hat.
There you go.
And this is Becky's first trip to New Orleans.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to do a DIY, do-it-yourself walking tour of the French Quarter.
All right.
And we're going to start off with the French Market right behind us. So let's take off. We're going to go through the French Market.
Okay.
Then up to the river, over to Jackson Square, down to Bourbon Street, and then we're going to end this walking tour showing you one of the best places to eat in the French Quarter.
All right. Now, where do I get my beads?
All right. So stay tuned. We'll see how many beads Becky gets. So across the street is the French Market. So let's just walk down, right down the middle.
Okay.
Right down the middle. So how big is the French Market, Becky?
Pretty big.
Pretty big. I'd say how many blocks long?
I don't know.
I'd say it's about 4 or 5 blocks, 6 blocks. It's a big market.
Yeah, I'd say more like 6. They have all kinds of things here, though, from one of the things that we really liked, they had painted dominoes that you could use for jewelry, but they have all kinds of sculptures and the Mardi Gras masks, artwork, all kinds of jewelry.
They do have it all. All right, so one thing that I love about the French Market is that it's kind of open air, and a part of it's also kind of indoors.
Yeah. Definitely, if it was raining, you would not get wet, so that's good.
It is really neat, very diverse area, and that's kind of another fun fact about the French Market. Becky, what year do you think the French Market was established in New Orleans? Take a guess.
1912.
1912. She's only off by, I don't know, 150 years, 120 years. 1791. 1791. Yep. And that was even before Louisiana became a part of the United States.
Oh, wow.
So
they got it right. They did shopping first.
And it was very diverse back then because you had a lot of French, Spanish, English, Native American, African American. If you came here, it would be as diverse back then as it is today.
Yeah, you can pretty much get anything here, I think.
Yeah. They also have kind of a food court area.
I saw something alligator.
Yeah, you can get really some neat things. A lot of Cajun and Creole food. So you can spend as much time as you want at the French Market. Another neat area of the French Market, it has a little park, a sitting park called La Trobe Park. So spouses, if one spouse is a shopper and you're not, you can just sit on one of these benches and maybe have a cool drink or something to eat.
A beignet.
While others shop. All right, so we've been walking 4, 5, 6 blocks now up the French Market area. About ready to hit one of the most famous spots. What's that spot?
Café du Monde.
Café du Monde. If you know anything about New Orleans and the French Market, you probably know about Café du Monde. So there's the sign. And Café du Monde is famous for its beignets. And you can see just how crowded it is.
Busy. Always busy.
All right, so you can see just how crowded
Look, there's a knife juggler.
Café du Monde is. And another street performer over here.
Yeah. Oh, the line's not bad. Usually it's lined up over here, isn't it?
Yes, a lot of times when you come here, the line will be all the way out here. So we just got done walking up from the Café du Monde right there.
Yes.
And Jackson Square is across the street, but before we show you that, we're going to walk up here and show you the Mississippi River.
And then the best view of the Basilica.
That's right. So before we show you Jackson Square, we'll show you the river first.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to walk across here.
Hey, Dad, I know you got those.
And somebody calling me Dad. Not really sure why. Pointing at my shoes. All right, so we're going to walk across the way here and see the mighty Mississippi. Becky, what year?
Oh no.
What year did they put in the Mississippi River here at New Orleans?
They put it in? What?
Yeah, they never installed the Mississippi River, babe.
I was gonna say, I don't think they put it in.
All right, here is the Mississippi right here. All right, Becky. Fun fact. All right, what nickname of New Orleans is given to it because of where it's located on the Mississippi?
NOLA.
No, that's just New Orleans, Louisiana, N-O-L-A.
The
Another
mighty
nickname.
Mississippi.
Remember that park that we passed back there? The Crescent
Oh,
City.
Yeah, Crescent City.
Yeah, the Crescent City, because it's a crescent shape on the Mississippi right here.
I get that.
There it is. See the
now.
crescent?
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with the moon.
No.
Cool.
So anyway, this is the mighty Mississippi. You can see Natchez Riverboat over there.
Yeah, they do lunch and dinner tours.
Yep. All right, now for one of the highlights, the St. Louis Cathedral.
The oldest continuously running basilica, cathedral, Catholic masses in the world. Well, is it in the world or in the United States?
In the United States.
In the United States.
You have to remember the Catholic
Oh, that's
Church.
true. The Catholic Church in Europe would have been way before
Goes
this.
way back.
All right. Well, I was close.
You
in
were
the
close.
U.S.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah. Now, how long does this date back to?
Oh, I don't know.
Early 1700s.
Oh.
I don't remember the exact dates now. You can take a tour of the cathedral, though, if you want to. Learn all about it. But it dates back to the early 1700s, I think 1728. And it burned down at some point in time and was rebuilt in the 1780s, I think.
Oh, wow.
So here is a great view of Jackson Square and the St. Louis Cathedral.
As well as some buses.
Yeah. That's one thing about the French Quarter. Tons and tons of tourists.
Yes.
If you're wanting to get away for a quiet vacation, do not come to the French Quarter. It's not quiet here at all. All right, so Becky, let's take our friends and family across the street into Jackson Square and show them around.
All right.
Hello, my thank you. Hello. All in New Orleans.
All right, Bo, I have a fun fact for you.
All right, what's your fun fact?
I know you know who that statue is of, right?
That is Andrew Jackson.
Okay, do you know what's unique and special about that statue?
Well, Becky has a fun fact about this statue. I've always seen it. What's the fun fact?
It is the first statue to have a horse standing on its back two hind legs instead of all fours. because of the stability of it, they had to really figure out the engineering to get that to work.
Wow, fun fact that Becky came through with. Nice job. Wow, that is an impressive statue.
Well, and especially with the backdrop of the cathedral.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is really cool. Underneath it, it says, "The Union must and shall be preserved." Now, if you know anything about your history, Becky, that's referring to a time period in U.S. history where our Union was kind of starting to split apart. This statue, I believe, was erected about 1854. 6 years later, the Civil War occurred.
Oh, wow.
President Andrew Jackson, although he was a Southerner, he was very committed to the Union staying together. So this is a beautiful statue and a beautiful park. Look at this. Surrounded by these gorgeous buildings. There's a museum on the left of the church, I know. And then on the left and the right, because the Louisiana State Museum is on the right. And then towards this side is a really old building. And I read that this building is the oldest continually inhabited apartment building in the United States.
Wow.
Another fun fact.
I hope they've renovated it
I hope so
couple
too.
of times.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that is gorgeous. So you can take tours, learn more about this cathedral. You can probably hear in the background a lot of music, a lot of noise. There's also another street performer down here. So there's always stuff to do in New Orleans. All right, Becky, what do you say?
Cool.
Oh, let me show you something else, Becky. See that little street
Yeah.
to the right?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a walk over there.
Okay, what's going to be down there?
All right, this is a place called Pirates Alley.
Oh, are we going to see pirates?
Maybe they say there might be a ghost of a pirate there.
Oh.
All right, so we crossed the street in front of the cathedral. You can, in fact, let me spin the camera around. I'll show you where we're at. Jackson Square is right there. You can see the statue of Andrew Jackson, and right across is an area called Pirates Alley. Here it is, Pirates Alley.
Are we going to see any pirates?
Maybe it's supposed to be a ghost of Jean Lafitte.
Oh.
Because, little known fact, I was asking Becky earlier about Andrew Jackson, why a statue is erected to him in Louisiana when he's from Tennessee.
Really?
But he won an important battle here in the War of 1812. And he defeated the British here during that war. And that was the final battle of the War of 1812. So Becky, when did the War of 1812 end?
1812. 1814.
1814 is correct. Nice job. The War of 1812 lasted from 1812 to 1814, but the Battle of New Orleans, it was won in 1815.
Oh.
Yeah, no one told Andrew Jackson the war was over, so he kept fighting. And one of the people that he was fighting with, back in those days, armies were made up of all sorts of people. So he had a conglomeration of soldiers, including pirates. And Jean Lafitte was one of those pirates.
Oh, cool.
And so this is the Pirates Alley named after him. And when
I don't see him.
and as you can tell, this is a very quiet area. So when you come to New Orleans in this area of town, I'm saying that very facetiously.
Yes, hopefully it is during mass time
Yeah.
when they're having service.
All right. So we've taken you through the French Market, across the river, Jackson Square, up to through Pirates Alley, and now off to one of the more famous streets,
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street.
All right.
All right, so about a block away from the cathedral is Bourbon Street. Becky's first steps on Bourbon Street. Here she goes.
I can hear the music. Oh, I see it, Bourbon. All right.
All right, Becky, what's your first impressions of Bourbon Street?
Looks like a party scene. Got some music.
All right, so it is about, what time is it, Becky, right now?
2:44.
2:44. And from my understanding, Bourbon Street doesn't really get going until after dark.
Wow. It's pretty hopping right now.
All right, so this one is Madison Bourbon, dedicated to the preservation of jazz. So
I thought Bourbon Street was closed off, like you couldn't drive down it.
Apparently not. That's a good fun fact for visitors.
Yeah.
That's why they watch our videos. Probably they do shut down Bourbon Street at times, but not right now. So from Bourbon Street, just a couple of blocks away, is a restaurant. I don't know where Becky went. She disappeared.
There was a pole in my way.
There is a restaurant called the Napoleon House.
Yes, and it was good.
And it's really good. A real neat atmosphere too.
And very friendly staff.
So the inside of the Napoleon House also has a courtyard. And the courtyard is a neat place to eat. So it's kind of indoor, outdoor eating. Do you know why it's called the Napoleon House?
No.
Because the guy who built it wanted Napoleon to move here.
Oh.
Napoleon was exiled from France, and he was hoping he would come here.
So he built a restaurant and called it that just to try to get him to come?
Well, originally it wasn't a restaurant. Above there is the house.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yep. So the Napoleon House has a great muffaletta.
Yes. What is that?
Muffaletta is a sandwich that was developed right here in New Orleans. This is not the original home of it, the Napoleon House. That's another place in the French Quarter. But it is a sandwich with ham, pastrami, salami, and a olive dressing.
Base, like it's like chopped olives and sauce and nuts.
And it
cheese.
is delicious. And so Becky and I and my mom, we had lunch in here, and it was amazing. So that is the DIY walking tour of the French Quarter.
Oh.
Yeah. And like we said, it's always crowded here and very festive, and that's what you should expect in New Orleans.
Fun.
Yeah, anyone that might photobomb you. But I don't know about you, Becky, but I'm stuffed.
Yes, and my feet are starting to hurt. But it's a lot of fun. You could take, an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours, depends on how much shopping you want to do and how many times you want to stop to eat. We eat a lot, as you can tell. But anyway, make sure to comment below what your favorite spot in French Quarter is. Maybe we can come back and try that someday, or our followers would love to know where they should go. So if we missed a spot that you think we should have mentioned, let us know.